This is not good. That was fun. Alright, so if you are looking for a budget build that has a gun with full auto capability, low recoil and good ergo without even modding it, and it also has extremely cheap bullets that are actually not trash, then you click the right video. I'm also gonna go through a full loadout including armor, backpack and basically everything you need for a raid. So if that sounds interesting, then let's get started. So we're gonna start off with the gun. So there are actually two different MP7 versions in Escape from Tarkov. One being the MP7A1 and the other one being MP7A2. The only difference being that A1 have a stock gun already, so you can't add a stock to it. While the A2, you can choose your own stock. You can get the A1 from Peacekeeper level 3 at $499, which equals to around 61,000 rubles. But if you check the flea market, you can usually get it for around 30 to 40k. So definitely if you're going for an A1, get it from the flea market. When it comes to the A2 version, you can barter for it at Peacekeeper level 4 for 1 power supply and 1 GPX phone. When I was checking the prices, the power supply was actually lower than 20,000, but it's usually around 30 to 40k. And the GPX was also around 20,000, which is quite unusual though. So it can definitely be worth to check the prices on the flea for those. But it's usually cheapest on the flea marking, where it goes for around 40 to 60k. But definitely keep that barter trade in mind if you want to get it a bit cheaper or you actually have the items. So now when you have the gun, we can take a look at the modding here. It's actually super simple when it comes to the MP7, because it doesn't have too many attachments available for it compared to a lot of other guns. We're gonna use the MP7A2 as an example, since you can choose your own grip. So both MP7 comes with rails already, so you can just attach your lasers, grips and so on without having to buy any rails. I would recommend using a laser such as the Holosun L6 321 that you can get from Scare level 3. And I definitely think a laser is a must-have for that increased point fire accuracy. I prefer using the IR laser mode on these, since it doesn't show the laser and it still gives you the accuracy. When it comes to grips on the MP7, it's definitely beneficial to go one that's more ergonomic focused and not recoil focused, since the MP7 have such a low recoil as a base. So if you use a recoil focused grip like the RK2, it will barely do anything. With the RK2 you would get 63 ergo and 47 recoil, while with a shift grip you would get 76 ergo and 49 recoil. So only two difference in recoil, comparing the best recoil attachments to the best ergo attachment. So it's definitely not worth using a recoil focused grip. I usually use the shift grip, but since we are making a budget build, we're gonna go with one of the most cost efficient grips here, which is the Magpul RVG grip from Peacekeeper level 3, which gives us 72 ergo and 48 recoil for only $79, which is more than half the price of the Shift and RK2 grip, with not much difference at all in the performance. Then you just slap on your favorite sight and you're actually ready to go. And you're gonna be looking at around 70 ergo and 48 recoil with only 2 attachments added, which is pretty crazy. In terms of sight, I would recommend the EOTech XPS30 holographic sight from either Peacekeeper level 2 or Scare level 4, $484 and $193, which is around 22,000 rubles, and you can usually find it on the flea market for around the same price. If I don't use the holo sight, I like to go with the PK06, which is 36k from Jagger level 2 or 40k on the flea, but that's almost double the price. Then you could add the M-Bus front and rear sight for that extra 2 ergo, which is definitely not needed at all, but I thought I would mention it anyway. They go for around 6k together from Mechanic. Something else that makes the MP7 really good is that it can use 40 round mags. You get the 40 round mags at Mechanic level 4 and they cost around 13k, which is a pretty good price. If you don't have access to the 40 round mags, they also have 30 round mags from Mechanic level 3 for only 6,000 rubles. But you definitely want to have the 40 rounders since the MP7 have a really fast rate of fire. There is one more thing that you could add, but it's not that budget friendly though, but I still think it's worth to mention. So when it comes to silencer, you could add the B&T Rotec silencer from Mechanic level 4, and that will cost you 56,000 rubles. It doesn't really give you that good stats though, so it's mainly to just conceal yourself a bit more. Since this is a budget build, I would not recommend the silencer since it is quite pricey, but I thought I would let you guys know about it since I'm sure there's a lot of you guys that prefer playing with a silencer. So with all the attachments and the 40 rounders, we are looking at a total price around 100,000 rubles, which is a pretty damn good price for a gun with 72 ergo and 48 recoil. So that's the gun, but now you're probably wondering what ammo you should run because ammo is extremely important in Escape from Tarkov. So we are gonna use the FMJ SX ammo, which is extremely good for its price. 43 flesh damage and 40 armor pen, and it only costs $2 each, which is 244 rubles per round. And the good thing with this ammo as well is that you can actually buy 250 rounds per vendor reset, so they are quite easy to stock up on. If we quickly just compare this ammo to another budget ammo that I used to run a lot, which is the 545 BT. So BT have 44 flesh damage and 37 armor pen, which is actually worse than the FMJ since it have 3 pen less. And I think something really important here is that the 545 guns have a really slow rate of fire compared to the MP7. So even if the BT bullet was better, you would shoot so many more bullets with the MP7. So with the FMJ SX, you're gonna destroy tier 4 armor super easy, and even tier 5 armor you will kill pretty fast. Sure, if they have a tier 6 slick armor you will be a bit in trouble, but keep in mind you still have a 950 rate of fire, so you dump a mag super fast. If you do have a good amount of money though and you don't want to run budget ammo, APSX is definitely the way to go, sitting at 35 flesh and 53 pen. But the cost for these are 751 rubles per round at Mechanic level 4, which doesn't seem too bad, right? But you gotta remember, it's a SMG with 950 rate of fire, so you're gonna be using so many bullets so fast. But yeah, that covers the gun and the bullets we're gonna use. Now let's quickly go through the other gear I would recommend for a budget build. So something super important is the headphones. I would definitely recommend the Comtax 2 since they are really cheap. And they are actually my preferred ones as well, because they do have the longest reach when it comes to footsteps. You can get those at Ragman level 2 for 25k. In terms of helmets, and you want to keep the loadout price down as much as you can, I would just not use one and just save the money. If you do want to use a helmet, you can get the SSH68 helmet from Ragman level 1 and it will only cost you 22,000 rubles. It's a tier 3 helmet with high ricochet chance, but honestly though, it won't save you often, so I mean in terms of budget build, I would just not use one. But I still thought it was worth to mention it though. Then we gotta cover up that ugly face, so just grab a face mask, either a balaclava or a Momex at Ragman. The reason you want to have a face mask is because it's so much easier to spot somebody that don't have a face mask, because the faces in Tarkov are so pale, so definitely make sure you have a face mask. They only go for around 3k rubles each, so yeah, get one of those. In terms of armor and rig, I would recommend the tier 4 M1 tactical armor rig, since it's the most cost efficient armor and rig choice in the game in terms of armor protection and item slots. You can barter for the M1 rig at Ragman level 3 for 4 Aquamari, which goes for around 15,000 each, so you can get that rig for around 60,000 rubles. Worth noting though is that you can also craft the Aquamari in the hideout at nutrition unit level 4. You will need 1 purified water, which is around 80 to 90,000, and 1 silicone tube that goes for around 10,000. So you can get that tactical rig even cheaper, especially if you use the water collector in your hideout to produce the purified water yourself. And if you're not doing that, you should definitely start doing it, because the water filter that you use to produce the purified water is almost the same price, and you will get like 1.5 almost from 1 water filter. So definitely start doing that. Then if you like, you can add some grenades as well, which I think is super important. I usually go for the RGD5 because they are the cheapest and they are going for 10,000 each at Prapor level 3. Grenades are super good to create space and chaos in fights, especially if you fight in groups. So definitely go in with a few grenades if you think you're gonna run into some PvP. I usually run 4. In terms of backpack, I usually go with a scab backpack at Ragman level 2 for 16,000. Depending on what you're gonna do in the raid, you could go bigger, such as Tricep from Ragman level 3 that goes for 40,000, or Attack 2 raid backpack that goes for 57,000. It's definitely worth to invest in bigger backpacks if you plan to do a farm run. But yeah, that is in my opinion the best full budget build in Escape from Tarkov in 2020. Landing way below 300k for everything we're getting is pretty damn good. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the loadout, and if there is anything else you prefer when it comes to budget. There is definitely a lot of choices there, but I personally think this is the best and it just worked really well for me. Also, since this is my first build video in Tarkov, please let me know what you think about the format. Is there anything I could change so it's easier for you to consume? Please let me know in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and make sure to subscribe for more Escape from Tarkov content. See you guys in the next one.